Now, I am typically somebody who likes to spend their money where they spend their time and optimize for healthy outcomes in the long run. I've spent a lot of time researching my setup and trying to make it more ergonomic in whatever ways I can. One big piece of that has been my office chair. I've been using a Herman Miller Aeron since about 2021. You guys know from a previous video, I was not having the best experience with that one, even years in, even after trying the Atlas headrest. Nothing was really fixing the problems for me, and LiberNovo reached out for me to try their new chair, and I welcome the opportunity because I have been really looking for a new chair, and I really like the idea of a chair that moves with you, and I really understand the importance of investing in your health long-term, especially as programmers, because I know that it's so easy to slack off and it will affect your performance. It affects how well you're able to produce code. It affects how well you're able to think and recharge. And it seems like everything that we do is related to computers when you love computing. Work, hobby, fun things like gaming, all the social time, like there's so many things that we do on the computer that just has us glued to our setups for so many hours a day, where we often end up staring at a screen, sitting at our setup for like 12 hours a day easy. I am gonna walk you through some of the things that I really like about this chair, do a little feature comparison between this chair and my previous chair, and walk you through hopefully enough detail that you can make an informed decision on whether this might be a good option for you, or maybe give you some ideas of things to look out for when you're shopping for a new chair. Thank you to LiberNovo for sponsoring this video. Now, this is the LiberNovo Omni chair. This is marketed as a chair that moves with you, which to me was really interesting because the biggest pain point that I was having with my Herman Miller was that I felt like I was having to kind of fight the frame. It's a mesh chair, so it has a hard plastic frame around it, and it felt like it was kind of forcing me into the very strict, like, this is ergonomic seated position, but all day. And I don't think our bodies are built to do that because it felt like it would put a lot of strain on my hips and my knees because I'd sit cross-legged, which I know you're not supposed to do, but okay, listen, I'm just a girl. I'm an imperfect human being, okay? So I was finding that the Herman Miller Aeron was a little bit uncomfortable because I would have to kind of shift so much to try and get comfortable. And I just never could unless I was sitting very much like upright at the end of my chair, kind of doing my work that way. I really missed having a headrest. So that was another big feature that I was missing that I'm very, very happy to have again. This chair has what they call a flex fit backrest, so it makes it more similar to the Herman Miller Embody chair. It's supposed to mimic the human spine and move with you, but a big difference that this chair has that makes it stand out is the fact that it has an adjustable lumbar support in addition to that S-curve that naturally just moves with your body, with your spine. So I can reposition so many different ways in this chair and always be comfortable but also supported, because it has like the S curve to it, but then it's also got a bit of like a curved back portion. So your spine goes right into this little nook. Even when you're off to the side, there's still a curve that you're leaning into that feels really good and supportive against your spine. So I really like that. I really like that it can kind of move with me, and that has been a game changer. Now, as I mentioned as well, my Herman Miller really forced me to kind of sit more upright and like alert position. Now, I feel like there's only so many hours a day that you can sit like that, and you have to kind of take breaks from that. And what I like about this chair is I can have it at a more upright position. I can also increase the tension and allow myself to go to a lower position and kind of find either the middle ground or just go to a more reclined position in general and code like this. I mean, do I look comfy as heck right now? Be honest, be so for real. I just really like that I can now adjust out of that one very strict posture and still have the support that I need. There's also a feature that they call seamless sync. That means that the headrest, the armrest, the seat, and the back will all kind of move dynamically when you recline. Let's say when you lean back and your hips naturally move forward slightly, you're not having to kind of like shimmy your hips forward because the seat actually moves forward slightly to just keep that perfect alignment. Same thing with the armrests and same thing with the neck rest. So it kind of adapts in a really comfortable way. And I would say one of the biggest features that I missed with my other chair, I didn't have the adjustable arms, but even with the adjustable arms, the Herman Miller ones just pivot or move up and down. This one pivots, moves up and down, and you can adjust the width. So that's really big for me because I think the Herman Miller chairs, even though I got the one that was properly sized for me, the arm width was so wide that I always felt like I had to lean off to one side or the other. Whereas this one, I'm able to make the armrests more narrow to fit my frame better. And I can angle my armrests throughout the day to just fit how I'm sitting and what feels comfortable in that moment. And that all comes with the base model. You're not having to pay extra to get any kind of adjustable features like that, which is really big because I know that that did cost more. And that's part of why I didn't get it on my other chair, because I decided to go with the posture fit backrest that gives you lumbar support with the Aeron chairs. And again, this one just has it built in with they have like a hydraulic system and it's battery powered, which we'll get into that a little bit later. Now, I think this has to be my favorite and most funny feature. I think it's very practical too, because I mean, when you're a coder and you're spending 12 hours at your desk a day, if not more, it's really nice to be able to relax as well. Like you need moments where you're more on and need moments where you can kind of pause and think and maybe take 5, right? It goes so far back and it feels so stable. Again, I think this is because the seat moves forward, so your weight is so balanced when you move back that it feels really stable and like super comfortable to do. And they also have this like massage feature. You can use that as well at any point, but it is really nice when you lay back, stare at the wall for a bit and turn that massage feature on. So I do really like that. Now let's talk price, because this was a big point that came up when I've mentioned this chair during my streams. Obviously people were asking about it because it's a new change in the environment. Okay. All of the prices are going to be in US dollars. The chair itself with a footrest is $893 US. And that includes headrest, footrest, adjustable arms, lumbar support, everything. The Embody gaming chair, which is the closest thing from Herman Miller, like I would say just the most comparable product, does not have a headrest, does not have the adjustable lumbar support. And some people have mentioned that it's quite narrow on the shoulders. I have not sit in a Herman Miller Embody, so I'm not 100% sure on how it would compare width-wise to this one. But that chair goes for, right now it's on sale for 20% off, and it's $1,688. Its regular price is $2,110. So that is the closest one that Herman Miller has. That one does have fully adjustable arms, which I believe in Herman Miller terms, that means it can go up and down and it can pivot. The Herman Miller Aeron, this one is with the Posture Fit SL and the adjustable arms to make it comparable to the features that you have here. And that one normally goes for $19.90 and is currently on sale for 20% off for $15.92. The chair itself is like half the price of these other chairs. I would say that these all kind of dominate the same sphere in the market of like more high-end office chairs. I think it offers a fairly competitive price in that market. So I don't think that price is a huge, crazy number here. Another factor is the fact that this is a fabric. Now it is a very nice fabric. It's really soft. I prefer it to the mesh because it's a bit more like cozy and it feels more like you're sitting in a lounge chair or something like that. You know, when you go sit in like a big comfy chair and it's just like this nice cozy fabric and you want to like curl up with a blanket, it's that kind of vibe, but you're obviously sitting in an office chair. It's very soft and tightly woven, the fabric, which means that if you have pets, the pet hair isn't going to get like embedded in the fabric. Because it is fabric, you'll get some pet hair on it, but you can just like brush it off. So something to consider with the fabric. Maybe if you're in a bit of a warmer climate, I don't know if this will be as comfortable for you because of the fact that it's fabric, but again, it just depends on different people's like tolerances and how hot your office gets. And again, this is gonna be very subjective, and I'm just sharing my opinion and my thoughts of the chair, but I think the features kind of speak for themselves, and I do think that you're getting a pretty good value for what you're paying for. Now, if you are considering purchasing this, of course, I'll have it linked in the description. You can use my affiliate link so that they know that I sent you. Because there are electronic parts to this, there is the matter of warranty. So there's a 5-year warranty on the frame itself and 2 years on all of the electronics. It has many certifications and was a very quick and easy setup for both the footrest and the chair itself. The battery life for the chair is supposed to be that it keeps the system running for about a month, and it fully charges in 3.5 hours. So you only got to charge it once a month, and then you're good to go and get your daily massages. I really like the color of this chair. This is the moss green. They also have a light gray and a black color. I think that moss green is my favorite out of the options because it adds to the aesthetic of your office. It's such a classic color. Instead of it just being like any generic black office chair, it's something that's a little bit more kind of special and different and can easily fit into any kind of environment. Like it can match your houseplants. I like that. Now that I have the LiberNovo Omni chair as my go-to chair for my setup, I feel like I'm not fighting the frame of my chair anymore, and that it fits me more than any other chair that I've ever used. And it has been just extremely comfortable. I've never used a footrest either, like a proper one. It's just been really nice having the option to either just rest my feet on the solid plastic base or lift them up a little bit and recline while I'm coding. I just feel like I have so much more adaptability and comfort at my setup instead of feeling like a little bit uncomfortable when I'm sitting at my desk, because you know your girl has always been a couch coder, okay? I'm guilty as charged. That is me. But genuinely, I think that this has changed that. I feel so much more comfortable at my setup. All that is to say, those are my thoughts on this chair, and I hope that at the very least, this brings you closer to a chair that works for you and gives you some different features to consider before making an investment into your ergonomic setup.